Yeah.
So, okay, so what inspired you to write this book?
Yeah. So a couple of things that inspired me. One is kind of, I shared with you how I grew up. Grew up in a large family. In my family, I got a mixture of both positive and negative messages, mostly negative. I got a lot of negative messages. Um, more and you'll read it in the book, but you're not good enough, or stupid, things like that. On the other hand, my grandmother, so I was born the seventh child of 8, and my grandmother was superstitious, and she said, "You're the lucky child. You are, 7's supposed to be a lucky number. I can't wait to see what you're going to turn into." And so I heard that message, one message from my grandmother. I heard a bunch of negative messages from my mom and some other folks in my family. I chose to listen to the positive message. And that's why the book is called My Choices. So I chose, and there's several examples that I talk about in the book about, hey, it's up to me. I could have chose to listen to the negative messages and, given my life up to that. But I said, no, let me go a different way. So the book is about making tough choices. Even moving to California was a tough choice, given my family, that you grew up, you go to high school, you graduate from high school, because my mom and dad didn't have a high school education. Hardworking people, but didn't have a high school education. And my mom wanted something better than what she had, which was a high school education. So that was her big thing. Just graduate from high school, right? And then you get a job and you live within that 10-mile radius. Well, I broke that barrier by going to college, again, listening to that one voice that was positive and milking it for everything that it had. And went to college first to graduate in my family, 4-year university, went on, got advanced degrees and that sort of thing. And then got into human resources. And then I would run into people that were living in some respects like I was living, low self-esteem, not making good choices, they were listening to the negative voice. That, I guess, that's the basis of it. And I would get frustrated with them because, like, you have an option, you have a way out, you can choose to see this differently. But they were getting into it. And so I said, it became an inspired mission. Like, it was divine. I was compelled to write this book because there are so many, I was just in the right position, exposed to the right kind of people that I wanted to help, including myself. I say in the book, I'm my first teacher, I'm my first student, like I'm a student of myself. And I just said, I got to put something out because, people need this. And I had a mentor once that told me, whatever you're inspired to do, whether it's this radio, talk show, whether it's to paint a picture, whether it's to invent something, whatever you're inspired to do, that means that someone in the world is waiting on that. What you have to offer, someone needs. And so because this kept kind of coming back to me, I've been writing this book for 20 years. It just came out.
Wow.
I started writing this a long time ago, but because of fear and all sorts of stuff, distractions, minding other people's business, they kept growing and doing what they were doing. I was still stuck in the book list, right? So I finally said, I'm going to do this. So anyway, that's a long way around what inspired me, but those were some of the things that inspired me.
I love it. It helps me to understand why your choice is your choice and why it's so important to own your ability to make your own choices.
Yep.
Because I'm a very indecisive person, and Lika could tell you, I'm always, should I do this? Should I do that? But how you explain it, the decision to not do something or possibly not do something is already there. It's just convincing yourself to either do it or not do it,
Mm-hmm.
And I always get mad at my son. I'm like, don't stand in the middle of the stairs, go up or down, Don't hang on the fence. Either go over, under, whichever way you're gonna go, do something.
Right.
And how can I preach to him when I'm the same exact way?
And it's so funny you just said that, Kim. It's because my daughter was like, I mean, I'm scared to do all kind of stuff. Like, they all know that. She was like, but Mom, you taught us opposite. I said, I taught you to be better than me. I said, I'm just being real with it. I'm like, I'm scared to fly. I'm scared of this. I'm scared of that. And they're like, we'll do this. We get a helicopter. But I'm like, I taught you all the things for me that held me back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want you to be like that. I want you
Right.
to live. Like, my youngest is moving, and she's moving to Florida to stay. That's where she's going to reside. Like, that's what I want you to be able to make these decisions.
Yep.
And to jump out there for yourself. Because that's something I
Exactly.
wouldn't do. I know I wouldn't do it, you know? Now I'm getting better now at the age of 44, but I wouldn't do it.
Well, I was just about to say that you're doing it now. Like, that's the other thing is I help people do is recognize that they're doing it now. Like, how can we replicate that? And how can we expand it? Because I'm sure if we were just to keep talking, there would be plenty of examples of where you put yourself out there, where you jumped out there, where you graced the world with your brilliance and all of that. So you're doing it now. Don't cut yourself short. Don't do it.
I swear I
Don't
do
do
it all
it.
the time. I'm trying to get better. That's why I had to get the book.
Yeah. No, and it's important that I get the book as well, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Lori,
The 24th.
this weekend, look, I've had to contemplate so many different things, so many different emotions came at me at once. Even, talking to Lika, I've been talking to her about things that I'm feeling, and she's like, what made you to think of that? Like,
How we get back there?
exactly. It's like so many things at once, and I'm like, okay, I need to streamline my thoughts. That's number one. My wants and needs, I need to streamline that as well. And I need to make some choices. The one good thing that has come out, because there's been so many bad things this year. I was in a car accident. My mom got kicked out of a nursing home. I'm taking care of her. My son moved back home. It's a lot happening this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not going good. The one beautiful thing, I swear, is me losing my job. Because I said, you know what? Like you said, everything happens for a reason. I was like, God knew what was coming. So maybe I got in a car accident and I didn't get another car, because that's an added expense that I don't need. The same day that I lose my job, my mom gets kicked out of a nursing home. And maybe that's because she needed me.
And it's not even a maybe.
Yeah, and it's
Exactly.
like it all fell into place.
Yep.
The way it happened. Now I'm like, oh my goodness. This is exactly. Chemistry came home. My son, his name is Chemistry. He came home. He needed to come home.
Yep. Exactly.
And
that's the way you're thinking about those things. That's what I mean by leverage. Like, why did this happen, and what does it mean, and how am I going to use this for my next jump off? Like, everything that you're experiencing right now, and choosing to find the connections, the silver lining, versus woe is me, my life is falling apart, everything sucks. Like, that's a whole different thing. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I know you know that, but yeah.
Well,
yes.
you ain't never lied there.
Oh my God, this is wonderful. And I'm the only person that feels this way. Everyone else is like,
I agree with you. Like, for real, right now you at a point in your life where you need some balance, and the stuff that was going on at work, it was team too much.
Yeah.
I think that.
Work
too much.
added a level of chaos that I needed to subtract some things. And maybe, like I said, things happen for a reason, because some things needed to be subtracted so that I can now focus on what's important. And that's what's happened. So wait a minute. Okay, so we know that the book is on Amazon. How can people find you, Lori?
Yeah, so I am on all the social connects. So please, if your audience, when they hear this, if they like anything that I said, or, need this constant encouragement, I do free 60-second or less videos on Instagram and positive inspirational messages, and I call them micro learning opportunities. Sometimes people don't have, an hour to listen, but they can listen for 59 seconds.
You never lied there.
And so that's on Instagram. You can follow me at We Are I Choice. WEARE I Choice. So we, and then RARE I Choice. So get me there. You can hit me up on Facebook or LinkedIn, just Lori Gentles. You can find me there, and on Twitter, Lori Gentles as well. So yeah, so please follow me, get the book, Amazon.com or Barnes and Noble. You can also get it in Kindle version. So for those of you who don't like the hard copy, I love books, so I like the hard copy. You can write in it and stuff like that.
Thank you. I was like, when I seen Kindle, I said Dropbox, I need format. And I'm like, I am a book person. Like,
I'm a book person. I need to write in it, bend the pages and all that.
I can't
The last place you can find me is at my consulting company, and it's The Choices Company. So The Choices Company. It's all about choices. So you can learn more about me and the work that I do.
God knew.
It's not a workbook, right?
No, it's a book. It's a text, you read, but there are self-reflection pages in there for you to.
I need all of that.
Yeah.
I do. This was such a blessing, Laura. You really don't understand. Like, this right here is needed, especially today. Things happen for a reason, and this is one of those reasons. Yeah, and I'm thankful.
Yeah, no, yes. You don't even understand. I needed to hear all of this. And I really hope if you haven't considered this, because there's so many social media personalities and influencers who have already started the process of doing this, but sometimes, I'm not saying that you have to or you should, but they made a lot of stuff self-help, but workbooks, so that you can present an exercise for someone to try, and they can journal or jot down exactly what their experience, how successful they were, or if it wasn't successful, how they could do things differently. I want to shout out some names of people, but right now they're feeling the heat, so to speak, because I think that was the premise behind B. Simone's book. Was kind of like a workbook novel type thing, and they ready to crucify B. Simone. So forget about
B. Smith.
I about to say B. Smith. She gone, girl. She been
rest in peace.
Rest in peace of B. Smith. Look, if I'm saying B. Smith, I'm an old girl. But yeah, so I would love to see what that looks like, because I need to journal on my own. I just need to be writing down stuff and saying, this is what happened, and I don't know what to do, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think your book would help me figure it out.
Take a read. I'd love to hear from both of you after you get it. Send me a photo of you with it, because I'm using that to kind of do some promotions. Speaking of a diary, kind of a journal, I was going to create a companion book called Oh Slap Moments, where, and let me just say this, I forgot to define what Oh Slap means. It's that moment of clarity. It's that moment, it's a sobering moment of clarity, awareness, and excellence. So as you're reading through, it's like, oh, slap, I didn't know this. So yeah, oh, slap, so it's that process, and it could be any three of those or all of them. And so I want to hear people's oh, slap moments. Like, when was that moment you became aware that it was your decision, and that it was my choice that actually got me into this position, and now I know I can change? Or, oh, slap, I didn't realize I was this excellent. I was doing what I said I wasn't doing, but you're doing it. I didn't realize that. Oh, slap, I am living my purpose, or what have you.
Yeah. And oh, slap is like an aha moment with some melanin on it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.